Hey YouTube, Sam here. Well, why are we looking at the passenger side tire and front end of this 02 Buick Rendezvous? Well, if you remember a while back, I took that tire off and got under there to do the belt. I can show you now the reason why I've been having belt problems, and if you're having belt problems, probably the reason why you're having belt problems. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is jack it up, get the tire off, start pulling all the stuff on the inside out. Pretty much everything I did to change the belt, I'm going to be doing the same thing to get to that point. So, if you can't figure it out for yourself, go check out my video where I replaced the serpentine belt on my 02 Buick Rendezvous. And here we are underneath here. I believe that is a 15 millimeter. I have air. If you don't have air, you're going to have to figure out a way to hold that from moving. There is some transmissions, I don't know on this one, but from things I've seen, you can go up underneath and there's a plastic cover you can take off, put a pry bar or a large screwdriver in there to keep the flywheel from turning. And I would strongly recommend undoing your battery, probably undoing your coil, whatever you have to do to keep this thing from starting on accident. Not very likely to happen, but if it did, there could be some serious bad things happening when you start pulling this off or cranking on this. But 15 millimeter, pop that out. Like I said, I'm using air, so hopefully I'll be able to get it out fairly easy. We got it all set up here, hopefully tighten down right. Now I'm going to start trying to do this by hand if I can, so I have a better feel for it. I was able to use that end piece. When I get this out and on a table, I will give you a better look at kind of the setup maybe. If I find that I need to. And this is going to start turning, which I was afraid of. So, quite honestly, yet again, I'm going to go the impact route. You just got to be real careful, yet again. Not responsible if you do anything I do. Alright, well, we got the belt loose here now. And there it is. And I'll be honest, I actually had it. I couldn't see this part when I put it on. And it's kind of sticking up a little ways more here, so I probably should have moved this down a little bit to where it was rubbing on this side, so I had it at a little bit of an angle. But either way, this tool works. This is the tool you need to pull it off. I do not have the tool I need to put it on. I will be making one of those probably, but that all in all is what it looks like. And here's the new one right here. That is the part for my rig. Part number. I got it on Amazon. I don't know if it was cheaper or not. They were all pretty close to the same price no matter what you got, so Dorman seems to be a pretty good product. Warning telling you to read the instructions, so you should probably do that. But as you can see, when I peel that off of there, this is right along with this. This is way down in here, so if you are having a problem with your belts breaking or falling off, or you notice this wobbling some, probably starting to turn into that, and it should look like that. So we're going to go ahead and slap that back on, peeled that off, and just threw it to the side. Luckily, it landed up just like it did this time. And on there, that little piece is the gel pack, which doesn't really matter, but right here is a keyway, so make sure you don't do what I just did and almost throw it away. And here I am back with the tool. Now I was going to build the homemade tool like you see a lot of people doing online or on YouTube, but honestly I couldn't find the right pitch thread and long enough bolt, all that stuff. By the time I would have drove around, I'm trying to finding things. But on my way home, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to O'Reilly's and rent a tool. And I always kind of forget about that. And I've done it several times, and I've even talked about it on other YouTube videos. They have all the tools you need. They have this, they have this. You go basically buy the tool. This was like 50 bucks there. And then you bring it back and they give you your money back. You don't even spend any money at all. So you get a free tool to use for a day. So comes with kind of a longer bolt that's been all bunged up from people misusing it. That goes into here. The one we need for this car is the 12 by 1.5. That goes down into there, and then this screws on to that. This goes, yep, this will go on here. This goes on here like that. I'm hoping you can see all this. And basically, you put that in there, thread this on, and this pushes your pulley on there. Alright, and one of the first things we need to do is actually get up in here and get this key right here out of here, because I'm going to pop that out and use the new key that comes with it. Well, I got this little tool here. I believe it's actually for windows, for pulling clips on windows is what it's actually for. But it's kind of got a similar shape to a lot of seal pullers. Yet again, use what you feel necessary to use to get this thing out of here. And well, so far this is the scenario I've come to. I got my little slide hammer. It's got like a little screw on there. It's kind of like the old school body trick. I don't know if you can see that, but I've drilled a couple holes in this, screwed that in, and then we can slide back on this, I hope, and pop this out. We'll see. Well, YouTube, you know, again, not gonna lie to you, that was a bugger to get in there. And what it wound up being is when I pulled the other one out using that chisel thing, basically is what I used. It's not exactly what it was, but I think it's like an old broken tire iron that I cut the end off of and use it kind of like a chisel. But anyway, I nicked the crankshaft up a little bit, and so this piece would not go into here no matter how hard I tried. So I wound up taking a file with some grease on it, so hopefully I don't get too many metal chips down in there, and I filed it down until it finally went in there. And I'm not gonna lie as well, I did have to tap on it a little bit with a hammer to get it in there. So I'm hoping everything all in all is okay. We shall see. The next thing I need to do is put the seal in. So once again, I'm going to take some brake clean in a rig and try and brake clean up that where the seal goes there. I got my new seal. It's about $6 at the store here. I'm going to take and I'm going to put just a little bit of grease all the way around it. I'm just using like wheel bearing grease. You can use what you think is necessary. You don't need a whole lot. I am actually going to take a little bit and just kind of go around this as well, just to kind of lube it up so that when we go to stick things in, we don't booger it up as well. And then you want to stick it on in there. I can make anything look difficult. I'm hoping this is the right size one. It's the one that parts store gave me. There we go. And the problem is I don't have a very good hit on it. Quite honestly, you're in my way again, and I don't know where to put you where you're not in my way. So I'm gonna tap that in there. I'm gonna get this and probably maybe a little bit of a 2x4 or something on the end of it where I can get to it, but you'll see it when it's in. After a couple days worth of stupidity, mostly on my part admittedly, we can put the pulley on here. Now I did put some grease, kind of light greasing, whoop, try not to hit you, of stuff here. on the shaft here, and you do not want to take a hammer and bash this in, first of all. Second of all, go get the tool for free that I've already probably shown you, and that should go on down in there as far as it'll allow you to put it in. Let's see here, that feels about right, and then back it off just a little bit so you don't have any binding and stuff like that. Then this piece goes on there, and this on here, and then I got to get a wrench to go on this and a wrench to go on this, and I put a little bit of Loctite on the bolt here, and I am going to probably, yep, this is supposed to be put down to 52 foot-pounds according to my instructions. I am going to have to put a extension on my wrench here so that I can do that. You guys need to do your own research on this. It says some of the bolts you can reuse, some of the bolts you need to put a new one of these on. Mine did not come with a new one, and it talked about if it came with a new one then it was a recall or something or another. Mine didn't. I'm putting some orange Loctite, so it's supposed to be strong, but you can still removable, and putting this bolt back on at 52 foot-pounds. And then after that it says to rotate it 72 degrees. Really don't know exactly how to do that, but we'll get her there. That's one of those things you need to figure out your torque, and you need to figure out what you want to do for your safety when cranking this down, and I will do the same. And this is going to turn on me. I'm debating on if I want to put the belt on. Even then it's probably going to turn, so really don't want to climb underneath there and start messing with stuff right now. So I know what I'm going to do. You need to decide what you're going to do. When I'm done, I'll be back. Alright, YouTube. Well, this POS is on here. Hopefully to stay. In fact, reading through the directions, it doesn't say anything about replacing that key. So, the Woodruff key in there, honestly, you guys need to choose yet again to do what you want to do. If I had to do this all over again, I definitely would not have pulled that key out of there. I would have just pulled off the pulley and put the new one on. Actually, I probably, knowing what I know now too, would have went ahead and replaced that seal. It was fairly simple to replace, so that would probably be a good idea too, to replace the two things, because really they do wear together. So that's also up to you. One, it's $6 to help hopefully keep some leaks down some. So in my opinion, I would go ahead and change that out, but the key, I definitely wouldn't do it if I had to do it all over again. And I told you that pulley that I just put on that you watched, you need to make sure that you're, especially GM vehicles, it talks about needing a scanner to make it, you know, start learning or whatever. I tried my Autel scanner, yet again, it did not work for what I needed it for. It didn't support this car. But also, I read through these instructions here that's on this sheet that came with it. And if you read through that, basically, do all these steps, and my car is running fine. There's no lights coming up. If there was a light, I can use my scanner for that. But I've been driving it a couple days now and everything seems fine. And basically the one thing that was maybe a little confusing to maybe some people, basically it talked about bringing the gas up till the scanner tells you the fuel shut off. I brought it up till it hit the rev limiter and shut off, which basically kills the gas. And then let off the gas. That's what I did. It worked for me using all these steps and doing that. May not work for you if you have a GM vehicle. It depends on your vehicle. So you're forewarned on that. The other thing is, it says tighten bolt to 70 Nm. I don't know what that is, 52 foot-pounds. And then rotate the crankshaft balancer bolt an additional 72 degrees. So I couldn't get it to rotate much more than the 52 foot-pounds. So I personally took my impact, hit it once, paid attention to where the bolt turned to, and didn't quite take one full revolution basically of the bolt. That was all I could do. Things seem to be working fine. Yet again, you need to do your own research, and I am not responsible if you do anything I do. If you don't like the way I do it, don't do it. This is Sam, Jack of all, Master of none. You all have a good one.